many knows that little tune?
I've heard it before.
Okay, that tune was from the Beatles called Blackbird. So, how many want to really play guitar? How many guys now? Okay, great. What if I told you that's easy to do it? Okay. So, let me tell you a little bit about guitar and the parts. This is the fretboard. Obviously, this is the body, and this is the sound hole, the tuning here. So if it goes out of tune, you can mess with it and then get it to be in tune again. This is the bridge. And what it does is it raises the string. So your fingerboard, this is what called the fretboard, will not be touching so closely, and then it creates tension where your string can freely sound. So there are many types of guitars, not that many types, but I happen to have acoustic electric. Acoustic electric because it has a hole here for the cable, so you can amplify this, or you can use it as it is, and, as an acoustic guitar. And there's an electric guitar, obviously. Obviously, I would have brought it here. So that needs an amplification. It needs a cable that goes to the amp to be amplified. And then there's a third kind, which is the third kind is nylon string, which is acoustic guitar. But those are for the classical players. You know, they're really particular about their playing. They read from the treble clef. Well, we don't have time for that. You know, we're not going to teach you that. But I can teach you how to read from the chord chart. So we're not reading notes, we're reading chords. But before we do that, let's do a theory, music theory a little bit. So as you can see in your handout there, there's a piano chart. And you're wondering why I put a piano chart, because it's a little bit easier to see the perspective of how each note relates to each other. That's a note. You can see there's 8 notes, but actually there's 7. The first one and the 8th one is the same note. They're just one octave apart. If you look at the 3 and 4, which is E and F, and then the B and C, they're all only half the distance. Okay. Now, if you see the black notes, they all have 2 names. They're called enharmonics, which means that if you go up 1, we call it sharp, and we go down 1, we call it flat. So obviously, if you can do it in both notes, you're going to see that those black notes are going to have 2 names, but they're actually the same notes. Why I said that? Because the chords actually relate the same way to the notes. So, for example, E and F is a half, and then B and C is half. So, in the same way they relate. Now that we learned a little bit about this, let's get into the practical chords. Okay, look at your charts there. There are a couple of examples of easy chords. There are many chords that you can learn and get proficient, really good at. But as a beginner, you wanted to learn the simple ones, right? So the simple ones are A, E, and D. So you look at there's a D chord, there's an E, and then A is fretted like this. Assuming we're good at that, so we start singing, right? You love a woman, tell her that she's really one. You love a woman, tell her that she's the one. You see how it's really high, and I can't really reach that. So what if you want to change the keys, right? So that's why I put down a circle of fifth. It's a tool where you can transpose the notes. So you can be in the key that your voice is good at. For example, let's transpose A to a C, right? So what you do is you go 3 notes up, see how the A goes to C. Then you have to transpose everything. Then you transpose the E to a G, right? And then D to an F. So it'll be like this. If you love a woman, tell her that she's really wrong. If you love a woman, tell her that she's the one. You see, it's much more singable. And that's what it's the transposing are for. And so now that we did that, what do we do next? Well, get a guitar first, right? Get a guitar, get an instructor, and get a material for learning. You can go out and buy CDs, instructional CD. You can buy books. You can even glance the YouTube. There are pretty good materials out there for reading a guitar, right? And now that we've learned a little bit about guitars, we learned a little bit about music theory and some simple practical chords. So where do I take it from here? Practice. You gotta practice and make it periodical. For example, you know, if you decided to do it once a day, if you decided to do once a week, that's fine. Just make it more regular so that you don't forget what you already learned. And you just put a cadence to it. And then experiment with it. You know, if you have songs that you love to do, figure it out. You know, if you have tried the different chord, experiment and have fun with it. There's nothing set in nothing set in stone. I mean, you can do just about anything as long as it sounds good.